Hello everybody, and welcome to the Wither Skeleton Head Removal. This is a pretty cool design. It's completely AFKable once you have everything set up, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So I'm going to show you how it works, and then we'll get right into the tutorial. So, right here we have the AFK player, and he's holding a Trident, which is how this farm works. You have a Trident enchanted with channeling that can make charged creepers that will then kill wither skeletons to get their heads. And that's how this farm works. So let me just move this guy onto the pressure plate, which activates everything. And you'll hear some minecarts rolling around, and that's the farm started up and running. So over here we have the wither skeleton cage, whatever. Just behind that portal is where you'd want to have a wither skeleton farm. However, for now, for demonstration, I'm just going to spawn a few. And he'll get picked up by the minecart and deposited over into this area. That will then stop the minecart and wait until this one is killed to bring another one. Over here we have the creeper section. We already have a few creepers in here, but I'll spawn in a few more. And then I'll show you how this section works. So over in the survival section area where you're standing, you have a few levers. One of them will pull back this set of pistons to allow some creepers to fall in. I'll just push these guys into the water stream. So then you'll get some creepers down here, and then you can close that off. It'll suffocate some of them, but if you have a good creeper farm, it'll be fine. And then you can throw your Trident through the cyan tunnel, strike lightning on those guys with your channeling Trident, and then you can release those guys into the charged creeper zone. And as you can see in the background, the creepers will then be brought over here, deposited in the same spot, and wither skeleton. And the creeper explodes because this guy over there is close enough to trigger the explosion. And since there's a regen beacon over here, it's got regeneration 1 and resistance. He only takes about half a heart of damage and regenerates that before the next creeper comes in. And as you can see, we've already killed off all the wither skeletons, and over here, if we take a look inside, we've got 4 wither skeletons. Because then at the beginning of the clip, you probably saw I spawned in 4 wither skeletons. Now on to the tutorial. So, the first thing you want to do is you want to start off with an 18 by 18 square. So you can see this is 18 by 18. And you want to go over to one of the corners. I'm going to do this corner. It's best if you're facing north-south, but it doesn't matter a ton. And you want to go 1 block in from the corner and place 3 obsidian blocks here. And then you can build up your portal. I'm doing 3 by 3. Because that fits best. You don't need corner blocks here. And you can light that on fire. And this is where you want to start, because that is where everything centers. If you go into the nether, this is where you want your wither skeletons to be coming out of from a wither skeleton farm. So then what we want to do is we want to block off one side. So do this with stone bricks this time, and build 3 by 3 on the inside and have walls. You can place your water there. Oops, there it goes. And build up the rest of the walls. Then you want to come over here, and we're going to start building the creeper area. So you want to go right here and kind of make a plus shape with it, with this corner block of the portal being middle, and we want to build up a little hallway. And this hallway is going to be where the creepers come in from the creeper hole. So it doesn't have to be right here, but this is probably easiest for how you want to build this. I'm just going to place a block there, but in reality, you'd want to build this out and have creepers coming in through here. We'll leave that off for now, and we can place a water bucket. Now we want to come across 2 blocks here, and then we have these 2. We're going to leave this. It'll be annoying, so keep that for now. So we want to have these 2 blocks here, and we want to make sure we remember them, and they have to be pushable blocks. So these 2, and finish building up this wall, and then we want to have some sticky pistons. So grab some sticky pistons, and we want them to be facing inward like this, 1 block away, so that when they are extended, they'll have, we want them right here, so that when they're extended, they're blocking this passageway. Put that water back in, because right here, it's signs. Is right here is where we're going to need them to fall off to. So we're going to do that right there. I'm going to put a sign there. And we want to go down here, and it needs to be a 2-block tall gap so that the creepers can jump out and get back up in this water stream. It's just like that. And then we want to build up the walls. But we want to make sure that we leave this spot here open, and that spot as well. And then the roof here actually needs to be glass, and that's because we need the creepers to have skylight access, so that when they get struck by the Trident, they will be actually turned into charged creepers. So I'm actually going to move this sign over there so that we can work better with this. And then after that, we're going to want to grab a block right here. Actually, remove that block, so I move the sign over. And build out the tunnel a little bit like this. Now, just behind these 2 blocks, you're going to want some more sticky pistons. Right here. Break those 2 again, and I recommend having a non-solid block here. Also, you're going to need a salmon slab, and you can put that right here. Now, I'm going to build a little encasement for the water to be placed right like that. Come back in and place the water so that it's flowing. And after that, we can just encase the rest of it. I'm going to use glass and make sure that this spot right here is open so that you can once again throw the Trident. And that's that section. Now we want to continue this along 2 blocks after this piston section, and then this is the 3rd one that we want to start building up. Keep building walls and the ceiling, and then we need a sign right here. And this begins the top of, or the bottom of the water So build up. Put a piece of water. Make sure you have a sign there as well. Block off the water flow. And you want to go up here. Place a sign. And one final piece of water there. And you can block that off and make sure you add a roof like that. And this is where you want to start building your cage. So I'm going to place a block there. Excuse me, right there. And then we're going to build a little 2x2. Get rid of this water by placing the sign right there. Actually, I was right the first time. These blocks need to be right there. And we can finish building up this little 2x2 here, and you can make this a little bit larger, but it works just how it is. Finish it off like that. Add a roof, just like that, and put that there so I can get out. Completed. Alright, now we want to come over here to the Trident section where there's this big long tube to the AFK, and what you want to do is come on over here and start building it. And from this piston here, you want to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take out those 2 blocks, put them up there, and then we build like this. Just fill that in up to this point here. And this is actually the spot right here. If I go down 2 blocks, place a block right there, and this is where the person can stand waiting to AFK. And the reason why it's so far is because if the creeper explodes over here and does any damage, which is quite a large radius, if the creeper does any damage to the mobs over here, eventually they might die and drop their head to like the creepers, and we don't want that because that would be wasteful. So next we want to finish closing off this. We want to come down here and place all the blocks like that. So next up here is to place a redstone lamp there and a redstone lamp there. Now those aren't actually necessary. I just find it's very helpful so that you can tell where and what your levers are doing. You want to place one more block there, and right here is where you would have a ladder going down. Just add a ladder. And this is how you get into the farm, because there aren't a ton of other ways to get in. Now I'm just going to finish closing off this section right here. Do that. And one important note is that this block right here and this block right here both have to be solid blocks. Pretty much everything else can be, unless you're going to be placing redstone on it later. It can be transparent, but there are a few blocks like here. This one has to be solid. This side right here, this has to be solid, and some of the other stuff like that, which I'll get to later. But yeah, it's just best to have solid blocks. And let's finish closing this, like that, and like that, so that we can get in. And it's all nice and smooth. So what you want to do is get a trapdoor and place that on the edge right here, so that will flip up like that, and a wire this up later. So next thing we want to do is we want to start working on the actual cage where they get trapped and explode. So what we want to do is count 1, 2, and walk over, and that is where we want to place our chest. This could be hooked up to any storage system, but this is where all the output will go, and you could put it over here, but that doesn't matter. We want to grab our hoppers, and so something like this. You want to have something like that. So you're placing a block right there. This setup like this. Sorry about that. Add those two hoppers right there. And then you want to put your wall right here. Four corners. And then you can come and place a block right here. And some blocks like that. And this is where your tripwire is going to be, and then you can come over here and close that off. Then you can get your water and place that in so the creeper explosion doesn't break anything. So what we want to do next is place a block right here, and then cover this up like that. Make sure the holes are there. And then you want to place more sticky pistons right here. You can break those two blocks. Grab a slab. Upper half slab and put it there. And then you can finish putting in all of those blocks like that. And what you want to do is you want to go one more layer like that, then place a block here, skip a block, and do this. Just like that. Also, this leaves one block too high. There. And make sure you put the other one right here. And then you want to do the same thing over here, skip a block. And do that. Here you want to place a slab, like so. And then place another slab on top, because this is the wither skeleton side. Okay, so quick note. We had it set up like this, right? We actually want to break that and make sure that they are open spaces and just a little bit taller. And then we want to place a block like that. My mistake during the tutorial. Then after that, what you want to do is start building up the minecart rail area. So, on the wither skeleton side, you want to go like this. 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then 3 blocks down like that. Then 1, 2, 3 like that. And place one more block there. And then we start going down in a staircase fashion. You want to go down until you reach this level, which is right at the same level as the wither skeletons there. And place a block there, and this is where the minecarts will go. Then you want to come over here and count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and then come this way, total of another 5 blocks, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we start mirroring the staircase, just like this. And when you get to this block right here, just make that pattern like that. That's the wither side rail section laid out, and the creeper side is fairly similar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then come this way, 5 blocks, and then all you have to do in this one is just drop down 2 like that. And same thing on this side, you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks out, then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you want to drop down 1 block, this is like that, and then just link it up like that. So now let's actually start laying out the rails. I want to make sure we have all 3 types of rails, all 4 types of rails, excuse me. And another thing, this block right here has to be a solid block. The rest of it can be a glass cage, but you want to keep, basically almost all the straightaways you want to have powered rails. Corners you can put in the normal rails. Just gonna do that. Here, right after you get up 1, you want to have a normal rail, and then 3 more powered rails. You want to put the detector rail right here. Excuse me, you want to put the detector rail right here, the activator rail right there, and that should be it. Now, grab yourself a lever, or redstone blocks, or whatever, and you want to make sure everything's powered. Now, don't power this section right here, we'll get to that later. And like that. Now let's add in the rails over here. We want the activator rail there, the detector rail there. Oops. And you want powered rails for pretty much all of this. Now, you could reduce some of the powered rail costs if you needed by getting rid of some of the powered rails, but it's faster this way, and I think if you're building this farm, it's probably worth just doing all of the powered rails. Anyway, we're going to finish powering all of these. Again, this is slightly different. You want at the top, you want the normal rail instead of having something like this, where this rail is unpowered. You want that to be a normal rail, and you can do that. And again, leave this side unpowered, and also this side unpowered actually as well. And we should have something like this. Alright, so next we're going to start with the redstone. This is pretty simple. The quick side note is we want to actually lower this block along instead of keeping it up. I messed that up before. All you have to do is that, and as you can see, it will come up in this in here. If the lever's been placed, we go down. You can see that both of these pistons are being powered by this redstone dust here. And let's turn that off, and we'll turn that one on. And you want to place some, this has to be a solid block right here, and you want to place some more solid blocks in a pattern like that. So, redstone dust all along this, and then a block right here, and redstone dust on top to power that. And then we can turn that one off again to make sure, after we've made sure everything's working. And now let's start with some of the harder redstone. So first thing, we want to come into this section here, and you want to place in tripwire hooks there, and break this block temporarily, and place in 2 more tripwire hooks, and attach string to all of that. And you can replace that block and get out. And you want to place a torch here and a torch here. Place blocks on top like that, and redstone dust, and then you'll hear the piston extend. That's good. We're going to do the same thing over here, torch, and there, 3 blocks, and you can place redstone dust on top. Then you want to make sure you have torches on both sides there, and then coming out of that torch, below it, not in front of it, because that torch will then affect things. Below it, right there, let's see, so make sure you keep that block there. You want to start counting. You have the first block here, and go 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more blocks like this. Skip a block here, make this L shape, and come up, and that should connect right up here to this rail. And then you just want to place redstone dust along. Make sure you put a repeater here, and then like that. Then we want to place a block right there, and then a sticky piston right there, and you want to place a block next to that. Now right here is the block that is the pressure plate, so we can take an output from that, like that, and that will make half of the on-off switch. Then we want to come over here and do a very similar thing. Below, you want to then place a block right there, so you have redstone dust on top, torch, another piece of redstone dust, a block up, a torch on this side, and then a block here. Skip that block, skip that block, and then you want to make this sort of C shape, I guess, Y shape, whatever you want to call it, and place a block there, and extend that. Then you want to place a repeater here, redstone dust on all of that, and redstone dust right there. Then finally, right after that, we want to go down. We want to go down there, and one more. Then come across, place redstone dust on all of that. Don't place redstone dust here, and place a torch right there. And that is pretty much all the redstone. You want to come just over here again, and do pretty much the same thing as we did on the other side. Up one, into a block, sticky piston, block, and redstone dust on that. Now that is actually the farm done. What you want to do is skeleton in my inventory. What you want to do is place in your mine carts like so. Oopsies, we need to place 2. Make sure everything is powered correctly. And that's a problem right there. So what we want to do is move that lever out of the way to make sure that this line isn't powered when it shouldn't be. Now we want to come over here, place your minecart like that. Reset that minecart to be over there. And yeah, that should be the farm done. thank you all for watching. I know it was a little bit long, but yeah, thank you all for watching. Goodbye.